I've locked myself in the bathroom and he would just keep trying to get in.
Did you do this to her?
I did.
Did you set her up and get her arrested?
He blames his wife for all the drama.
Your ex-fiance says you were doing the same thing before.
It is a lie.
Well, Ashley, come out here. The video I'm about to show you is disturbing on so many levels. It shows a wife desperately begging her husband not to hurt her.
I'm trying to be safe in this room. Please, Jesus, help, help. Oh, please don't come in, please don't come in.
Sky says this incident doesn't even scratch the surface of her husband Josh's abuse that she claims often leaves her bruised from head to toe. In fact, Sky claims it was only 6 months after she packed up and moved her entire life from Australia to the U.S. to marry Josh that he nearly killed them both.
6 months after Josh and I were married, he physically abused me for the first time. We were in the car and got into an argument. He was driving like a maniac on the highway. I told Josh to let me out. Josh then punched my upper arm with his right arm and then held me down in the seat. The only way I could get away was to wriggle down the seat and bite his forearm as hard as I could. He slammed on the brakes and I jumped out of the car and he drove off. He drove back and came up to me and he said that he would never hit me again. At the time, I believed him. But unfortunately, the abuse never stopped.
Sky claims Josh is so intent on destroying her life that he has fabricated his own injuries just to get her arrested and thrown in jail for domestic violence in order to teach her a lesson. Now, Josh, on the other hand, denies some of these claims. Sky says she's so petrified of what Josh will do next that she started a private Facebook group to document his abuse in case she goes missing or is found dead.
My husband Josh is a narcissist, a compulsive liar, an abuser, and a psychopath.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I am sorry. Now go get toilet paper.
You're not sorry if you're breaking my hand.
Ow! You
Stop.
just kicked me.
No, I did not kick you.
I live in constant fear.
Help me! Oh, don't hit me! Oh, you're biting my feet! Stop!
In the 2 years that we've been married, Josh's physical abuse has left bruises in different parts of my body.
I'm sorry.
He has shoved me to the ground.
Don't.
He's pulled my hair. He's slammed me into the wall.
Please be nice, you hurt my fingers. You just crushed my fingers.
To get away from the abuse, I've locked myself in the bathroom and he will break the door or handle to get in.
Oh, please don't come in, please don't come in.
After my husband abused me the first time, I started a secret Facebook group where I began documenting his abusive behavior. In the group, there's about 40 of my closest friends, some of Josh's family members and his ex-girlfriend. Pretty much everyone in the group pleads with me to get away from him and leave. Last fall, Josh had me arrested for domestic violence. He was attacking me, and in self-defense, I got him in a neck lock. The police thought that Josh was a great guy when I was arrested. I was in jail for 5.5 days. On top of being abusive, my husband is also a thief. He has stolen both my identity and my life savings. He's taken around $28,000 out of my bank account. Josh has also threatened to mess with my immigration status. He tells me that if I leave him because of the abuse that he will tell immigration I just married him for a green card and threaten to get me deported. During our marriage, I've left Josh 3 different times. The reason I ended up moving back in was because he was also promising that he was going to change. I feel that it's possible one day he could go too far and take my life.
Please leave me alone.
I'm wanting to just jump right into these things because it's your time and I don't want to waste it. I think you are in and playing a dangerous game. Do you think you're in danger?
I think that when he is what I call unpredictable Josh, I'm in danger. And then the Jekyll and Hyde switch, and he's nice, and that can look like him either being depressed and remorseful or him just being nice and charming, then that fear goes away.
When was the first time he put his hands on you in anger to the point that you said, oh my God, what am I into here?
That was May 2015. He was driving on the freeway, speeding, weaving in and out of cars. I absolutely begged him, if you were going to drive like this, please pull over and let me let me out of the car. And he just started yelling, no, I'm not, you're not getting out of the car, shut up.
He started hitting you in the arm. You took a picture of that, correct?
Yes.
This is that picture?
Yes.
Sky, I have to tell you, this looks like a serious bruise to me. That's not like he bumped up against you. This looks like you've been abused in a serious way here.
It was literally like that when he was driving with all his might.
How long did this last?
About a month.
How do you feel about that as you look at it today?
At the time, he told me he'd never hit a woman before, and he told me that he'd never hit me again.
How did this happen?
He shoved me to the ground.
Did you do anything that you think would deserve this?
No.
Is there anything you could do that you think would deserve this?
Not really, no.
But tell me, you've been in this now 3 years. Why are you living in this hell?
He says he won't do it again. As stupid as it sounds, I want to believe that. And I want to believe that, you know, maybe he'll make the change and better himself.
Say sorry. Say sorry. I am sorry. Now go get toilet paper.
Take me back to the desperation you're feeling at that time.
That's not an isolated incident where I would go and close myself in a bedroom or bathroom and he would just keep trying to get in. And I'm not name calling, I'm not doing anything, I'm just trying to get away and cry in peace. I'm a Christian, so I don't believe in divorce. So I struggle with guilt about walking away.
And I understand your feelings about divorce, but if you're a Christian, you also understand that you are to treat your body as a temple, correct?
Yes.
You're not to abuse your body, you're not to allow your body to be abused, used, beaten. So how do you square those two up?
No.
So how does this end?
I 100% don't feel that I can live with him anymore because it's at the point where I can't work, I can't function. I'm constantly on eggshells. Just apologize and be nice. Don't.
He's actually stolen money from you.
Yes.
And he's used that identity to open up credit card accounts. How many?
The 4 of mine that he used while I was in jail, some before I went to jail.
Unauthorized by you.
Unauthorized, that's
so
right.
that's stealing your identity.
That's
he's
right.
Unauthorized by you. He's using your accounts for himself.
And then there was PayPal, Gmail, and a credit card application that he attempted to get, and Credit Karma in my name.
So the Credit Karma, so he knows what's available where. Okay.
And so I can't get into it because they said my social had already been used.
How much money do you think he's hit you for?
At least $28,000.
Okay. He's threatened to have you deported, to go down and tell them that, you know, this is all a sham, he needs to get you out of the country, that you're a fraud and a phony. But other than that, there are times when he's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Now, Josh has been in another room. He's not been listening to any of this. He hasn't heard a word that you've said. And before he joins us, I want you to hear what he told our field crew about you. Let's take a look.
Oh, please don't come in, please don't come in.
It's not like I wake up in the morning and decide to beat my wife. I didn't realize I had all these anger problems until I met Sky.
I just want you to say sorry for calling me names.
I already did.
No, you didn't.
She pulls it out of me.
Please don't hurt me. Oh, don't hurt me. You're hurting me.
I had punched and left a bruise on her arm, kicked her in the groin, pulled her hair, smacked her in the face. I believe all these events could have been avoided.
Please just leave me alone in this room. I'm afraid.
Sky knows I have a lot of anger.
Please leave me alone.
She purposely pushes my buttons
This is what you look like all the time, lying on the couch.
to where I snap.
Ow! You just kicked me.
Sky's on me 24/7. She nitpicks everything I do.
What have you done to the car?
Nothing. Go to your
Okay, but what did you do to the car?
nothing.
She's constantly nagging me.
What did you do to the car?
Don't worry about it. I didn't do anything.
What did you do to the car?
Nothing. Now get
It's like pouring gasoline on a fire. Sky doesn't believe she's responsible for any of the issues in our marriage. I blame Sky for all this drama. She's the one who's creating all this. My wife is no angel. My wife has been physical with me on numerous occasions. She has pinched my legs, bitten me, put me in chokeholds. Sky needs to realize the role she has in all of this. I can't fix my own problems until she fixes hers.
Please, 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 no, please.
What do you say to that?
It's ridiculous.
We have pictorial evidence of it. We have video evidence of it. We even have him admitting a fair amount of it. But now he's blaming you for it. Well, let's see what he says. We're going to bring him in.
How you doing, sir?
Josh, Dr. Phil, how are you?
Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you. Been talking with Sky, as you know, and she's been telling me what's going on between the two of you from her perspective. Do you guys have what you would call a volatile relationship?
Coming up.
Did you do this to her? Have you shoved her to the ground and spit in her face?
I don't recall spitting in her face.
And later.
You say that Sky is the first woman to ever push you to the point of physical abuse. I wanted to see how accurate that statement was, so I contacted your ex-fiancée, Ashley.
We now return to Dr. Phil.
I've been talking with Sky, as you know, and she's been telling me what's going on between the two of you from her perspective. Do you guys have what you would call a volatile relationship?
Yes. We're always neck and neck at each other. Can never get along. Everything I do seems to be wrong. Even when she tells me how to do it, I'll do it her way, and she'll tell me that it's still wrong.
Does she not know when to let something go?
She does not.
Does she nag you?
She constantly nags me from the moment I wake up to the time I go to bed.
So you feel like, particularly times when you're maybe kind of wound up, if she would just turn around and walk away, leave you alone, things could de-escalate and there wouldn't be a problem.
Yes, sir. If she would walk away, things wouldn't escalate. I've tried to walk away several times, and she's followed me, nagging, pushing my buttons, till that point where I just snap.
When you say you snap, describe that for me. What goes on inside you?
I get enraged. I start yelling. I start swearing at her, calling her every name in the book.
But what are you feeling at that point? Do you want to kill her? Do you want to hurt her?
I don't want to hurt her. I just feel a lot of anger towards her and myself because I can't get through to her. I can't talk to her about my feelings without her blowing me off.
But this is situation specific to her. You didn't do this as a child.
No, sir.
You didn't do this in high school.
No, sir.
You haven't done it in other relationships. This is specific to her.
I have yelled and called other women in my past, no names. I have sworn at them. I was never hit them out of anger. For some reason, it seems that Sky knows exactly what buttons to push, and she keeps pushing them to the point to where it gets a little physical between both of us.
Come on, let's the fans, not the players. There's a point at which you got to say, I might as well just tell the truth. Be your own critic here.
I do want to come out of this better than she does. There's a lot of things that she does that she hides from everyone. I read an email to one of her friends.
And how'd you read that email? Did she give it to you? Say, hey, look, read this.
No. I logged into her email. I did have her passwords. I took advantage of that.
So you read the email because you invaded her privacy.
Correct.
Let's hear it.
Dear friend, quote, sometimes I would hurt my cat Pappy. I would take out all the pain I felt on him, and he never ever did anything bad to me, ever. After reading that, I realized that not just the relationship or the relationship with me, that she has anger issues.
Well, so what is your purpose for reading that to me?
To see if that has any connection to how she's treating me.
Treating you.
How she's abusive to me.
So you want me to know how toxic she is. If she would abuse a helpless cat,
Correct.
what would she do to you?
Correct.
Yeah. Did you do this to her?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you do this to her?
Yes.
Did you do this on the highway, high speed?
Yes, I did. She flew into a rage while we were driving. She grabbed the steering wheel and would not let go. She was pulling it towards her. We were swerving off the road and we almost hit a car. And I felt horrible about that for months.
Yeah. Well, Pappy the cat can't speak, so I'm just going to have to rely on the two of you, and I certainly don't ever endorse abusing an animal. Did you choke her until she couldn't breathe and pull her by her hair and twist her arm until she thought it was going to snap?
I have twisted her arm. I don't know about to the point it was going to snap.
Have you shoved her to the ground and spit in her face?
I don't recall spitting in her face, but I have shoved her to the ground.
Have you thrown hot water and cups and plates at her?
I have thrown a cup of water on her, yes.
Hot water.
It was warm, but it wasn't hot.
Did you set her up and get her arrested?
Coming up.
You just lied just now.
Given what you've done, you had her thrown in jail for 5.5 days. She could have you thrown in jail for years. That is a felony.
We now return to Dr. Phil.
Did you set her up and get her arrested?
I did not set her up. I did make it seem worse than it really was, but she was abusing me. She did have me in a chokehold. She pulled me down to the ground, and I did hit my head on the couch, but I played it out to be worse than what it really was.
You manipulated the situation with the police and painted a picture to them that was not indicative of everything that had happened and accurately what had happened. You basically lied to the police, both by omission and exaggeration.
I exaggerated on how much it hurt.
You just lied just now. You threw the big vacuum cleaner at me, then I sat in the computer chair, you put your arms around my whole body, tried to throw me off the chair, then I started screaming help. There was 2 gardeners outside the window and you put your hand over my mouth. That was before I laid a hand on you.
Not true.
Well, he said he had a purpose for what he did there. Listen to what you told us.
Last year, Scott was arrested and charged with domestic battery. When the police arrived, I made it sound a lot worse than it really was. I felt that she deserved to go to jail because I was fed up with all the drama. I thought Scott going to jail would teach her a lesson.
She wound up spending 5.5 days in jail and 83 hours of community service and 6 months of domestic violence classes.
Yes.
So did you get what you wanted?
No.
I mean, your wife sat in jail for 5.5 days.
Yes.
Which gave you enough time to do what?
I took money from her credit cards and went gambling, hoping to win money for us to buy a place once she got out. But that didn't happen. I lost it.
Surprise.
And it was more pre-planned than that, because I received a letter from an Australian bank saying, we've approved your credit increase to 5,500, a credit increase that I had not applied for, that was done on the online banking system. An American bank who had frozen my account for fraud told me that you tried to add yourself as an authorized user on my online banking system.
What I did was unthinkable. I know what I did was wrong.
You understand that given what you've done, you had her thrown in jail for 5.5 days. She could have you thrown in jail for years.
Yes.
That's grand larceny. I'm not a lawyer or a cop. You stole her identity and her money and gambled it away. That is a felony.
Yes.
I don't believe I'd be dragging her around by the hair if I were you, if she could put my ass in jail for 5 years or more.
She's put me in jail already. She had me arrested for domestic battery.
And didn't you evade the police?
She told me not to come home because the police were on their way.
In fact, you have to turn yourself in within 72 hours, right?
Yes, sir.
For first-degree domestic violence.
Yes.
What the hell's wrong with you people? What are y'all doing? If you don't like each other...
I love my wife.
Well, please don't love me. I'm not fast enough on my feet to duck these punches. At least you can't grab me by my hair.
I'm not happy with what I've done.
Well, how about starting by owning it?
I've owned up to all my mistakes.
No, because the 10 grand credit cards I knew about. The 12.5 grand from my life savings, I just found out about last week.
Is that part of your retirement account?
Yes, that I've been saving in Australia since I was 18.
That's pretty calculating. Let me ask you something. You don't seem like that evil of a guy. Are you doing drugs?
Coming up.
You expect me to treat you with respect, which I have tried numerous times.
I've got text messages here that you've sent to her. I mean, these are pretty abrasive. I hate you. I will ruin your career now. Closed captioning provided by
Dr. Phil.
Let me ask you something. You don't seem like that evil of a guy. Are you doing drugs?
Yes, I was.
Because that's feeling an awful lot like drug thinking to me.
I am a recovering meth user.
When's the last time you used a drug of any kind? Prescription pills, meth, marijuana?
Monday.
Well, what was it? Meth or?
Meth.
Okay, so you set up meth Mondays here. Did you know about that?
No.
What did you mean when she was leaving to go to work and you said, good luck with your car? You remember him saying that
Yeah.
to you?
Car was breaking down. It had problems, and
So you were just expressing concern.
correct.
That wasn't a threat.
No, it wasn't a threat.
When she asked you about it, did you tell her what you were concerned about? Like, was it the brakes or the
No.
motor? Why not?
But right, I was angry at her though.
What did you do to the car?
Nothing.
What did you do to the car?
Don't worry about it. I didn't do anything. Shut the up and go.
What did you do to the car?
Nothing. Now go.
What did you do to the car?
Nothing. Now get
But you did say it to gouge her when she was leaving. Good luck with the car.
Right, but it wasn't a threat.
I said to you earlier that I think you guys have created some new normal that you don't even realize. Let's just take a look at y'all just talking.
I just want you to say sorry for calling me names.
I already did.
No, you didn't. Say sorry. Say sorry.
I am sorry. Now go get toilet paper.
You're not sorry if you're breaking my hand. Say sorry. Be nice. Be nice. Please be nice.
I am sorry. Now go get the toilet paper.
Please be nice. You hurt my fingers. Just apologize and be nice. Don't. Please don't break my mug. Can't you say you're sorry? Please don't hurt me. Oh, don't hurt me. You're hurting me. Ah, you're biting my feet. Stop. This is what you look like all the time, lying on the couch. Ow. You just kicked me.
No, I did not kick you.
Yeah, you did.
Wow. Why are y'all living that way? Why is that okay with you?
It's not okay.
Because the times where he was nice between when he was like that were longer than they are now.
You don't validate my feelings. Every time when I tell you what I'm having problems with when it comes to your attitude towards me, the way you talk to me, the way you talk down to me, treat me like a little kid. You expect me to treat you with respect, which I have tried numerous times, but you have never shown me any respect. You can be happy one minute and you can be completely evil the next. I never know what sky I'm gonna get.
I feel like I'm a lot more consistent than you are. I do validate your feelings.
No.
You aren't working, and I've been supporting you. I've been patient while you've been trying to resolve your lack of income.
Guys, has your marriage imploded on you here? What's your ownership in it? What are you doing that's contributing to this being so toxic?
I'm not perfect. I mean, I have arguments with my friends, but I'll have conversations with my friends and, you know, things get heated. Whereas I could be talking to Josh like I would talk to any one of my friends and he'll say that I'm, you know, being mean or being offensive.
You say she says things to you she shouldn't say, talks down to you. I've got text messages here that you've sent to her. I mean, these are pretty abrasive texts from Josh to Sky. The first one says, "I hate you, will take all I can from you, I will ruin your career now." Then again, you use the same choice words, I'll clean it up for you. "You are a blanking blank. I already sent the paperwork in for your sponsorship. Say goodbye to the USA, babe." You're threatening your wife with deportation?
Do you have copies of her text to me?
Oh, I have no doubt that she is as childish and ridiculous and provocative as you are. So we'll talk about those in a minute. Let's talk about yours now.
I have no excuse for mine. Mine.
But what? Tell me, don't make an excuse. Tell me what moves you to do this.
Coming up.
He claims that you put signs around the house. One of them is, "Die, blank. You stole the rent money. Die." You wrote the suicide note. Did you threaten to kill yourself to manipulate her?
And later.
You say Sky is the first woman to ever push you to the point of physical abuse, so I contacted your ex-fiancée, Ashley. Closed captioning provided by...
Turn to Dr. Phil, a husband accused, a wife arrested and bruised.
Don't make an excuse. Tell me what moves you to do this.
Her constantly nagging. And when I send texts like this, I normally wouldn't send a text like this to anyone.
But you realize that's highly toxic and inappropriate.
It is.
Do you put signs around the house? He claims that you put signs around the house. And one of them is, "Die, blank. You stole the rent money. Die." Did you put that sign up in the house?
There was one day where I got home and the money that I'd hidden for the rent was gone, and I went out and I left that sign for him.
And you broke a clock, an alarm clock that my grandmother gave me when I was 10,
That's correct.
out of rage.
Okay, so you want me to read some of her stuff? I mean, she's telling you to die. I mean, so yeah, do you think I don't get that this is two-sided? You think you get I'm being fair? I'm reading her stupid signs here, just like I'm reading your text messages here, right? I get that there's two sides to this. Two wrongs don't make a right.
It does not.
Did you threaten to kill yourself to manipulate her?
I was being dramatic.
Yeah, so you wrote the suicide note. You didn't intend to kill yourself. You just
No.
intended to jack with her.
Yes. To be honest with you, I just wanted to see if she actually had any care for me.
Let's test her. Let's see if she goes like, "Oh, wow, I need to get in there and straighten this up." You say that Sky is the first woman to ever push you to the point of physical abuse. I wanted to see how accurate that statement was, so I contacted your ex-fiancée, Ashley. Here's what she had to say.
My ex-boyfriend Josh is an incredibly abusive person. Almost immediately after meeting Josh, we moved in together. I was in love with Josh. We were engaged to be married only after 2 months of being together. Soon after he moved in, I saw his true colors. Josh was abusive and dangerous. Josh was also incredibly controlling. He insisted on having access to all of my email accounts. If I was on the phone, he had to listen to who I was talking to. He was constantly belittling me. He would call me the word, the B word, crazy, bipolar. He blamed me for all of his problems. He said the only reason why he would lose his temper is because I wouldn't stop nagging. Josh was physically abusive with me twice. Once in front of my entire family, he pushed me to the ground and called me a bitch. About a year into our relationship, we got into a huge fight and he grabbed me by my throat and slammed me up against the bathroom door. I was terrified. I thought he was going to kill me. We broke up that same day and I told him to move out of my house. I know what's going on with him and his current wife, Sky.
Ow!
She has told me about the abuse. I also follow everything that she posts on her Facebook page. It terrifies me. What I think Sky needs to do is get as far away from him as possible. I'm afraid for her. I'm scared it's going to escalate and he's going to kill her.
Please leave me alone.
Okay.
So she says you were doing the same thing before. So it
That
isn't
is a
just
lie.
Sky. It's a lie?
Ashley was the abusive one. She would kick me, she would hit me, treated her like a queen.
So all that she's saying is just a lie?
It is a lie.
Well, Ashley, come out here.
Coming up.
You're the one who kicked me. You're the one who hit me.
You're always the victim, so keep going.
You are a
Clearly.
liar.
Did you grab her by the neck and throw her up against the wall?
No, I did not.
Never put your hands on her in
Never.
anger? Never.
We turn to Dr. Phil.
I contacted your ex-fiance, Ashley. She says you were doing the same thing before, so it
That
isn't
is a
just
lie.
that. It's a lie?
Ashley was the abusive one. She would kick me, she would hit me, treated her like a queen.
Ashley, come out here. Ashley, thanks for taking time out of your life to be here. Were you able to hear what we were just talking about?
Yes, I was.
He said everything you just said was a lie, that he treated you like a queen, that you're the abuser.
That's typical. Typical. Always the victim.
Right.
Always playing the mind games.
Always, let's see. You're the one who kicked me. You're the one who hit me.
You're always the victim, so keep going. I'm trying to hear it.
You
Clearly.
are a liar.
Clearly.
Did you grab her by the neck and throw her up against the wall?
No, I did not.
Never put your hands on her in
Never.
anger? Never.
Out of anger, I have never put my hands on her.
You never put your hands on me.
No.
I still have the hole in the door from where my head was
That
slammed
was-
up against the door.
That was not me.
Oh,
That
it
was
wasn't?
there when I moved in.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Josh, why would this woman make all of this up?
She,
Well, clearly we like drama. I mean, that's all it is. It's our fault.
I have nothing else to say about Ashley because the things she is accusing me of never happened.
Are you just a bad picker? You just pick bad partners? Bad women?
I guess. My wife's not a bad woman. Even through all this, I still love her. That's why I'm here.
Were you really controlling with her and getting access to her emails and stuff like you do with Sky?
Emails, no. Text, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Just not my emails.
Does that seem normal to you?
I have insecurity issues, and I have told Sky this before. Ashley knew of this before we dated, that I had insecurity issues.
Yeah. Let's just get to it. What do you
I
want
have
to
a
do
new
here?
apartment. I've told him I don't want him to come to the new apartment. He says he wants to work on the marriage. I feel I've given it a ridiculous amount of time and I'm seeing the same pattern. If he was to continue to want to work on the marriage, then, I mean, he needs to be supporting himself, making some effort to pay me back and working on the marriage like at a distance because I can't function in the same home as him anymore. He says it's not an option because he'll be homeless, his family won't take him in. So I'm at a loss. I feel guilty about abandoning him because when he's remorseful, he cries and he says, I'm not going to do it anymore. And he says that he'll be nice and he talks about how things can be.
Let me tell you, that doesn't make it your fault. He says, what I need to do is fix your problems and then he will be better. But he brought those problems to this relationship with him because I believe you. There's a pattern here. He said if you left him, he was going to call CPS. He was going to ruin your life. He's going to get your child taken away. He's going to get you deported. He's going to ruin you. He's going to take your money. He's going to destroy that. He uses leverage against people because he is insecure. And you say she provokes you, she nags you, she does all this stuff and pushes your buttons. If she wouldn't do that, then this wouldn't be okay. Listen, I don't know who dropped the ball in your life, but somebody failed to tell you you don't ever put your hands on a woman in anger. You don't hit them, you don't slap them, you don't spit on them, you don't throw them up against the wall, you don't choke them, you don't put your hands on them in anger. When you do that, you're committing a crime and you're being a coward. If she's nagging you, you turn around and walk off. If she keeps nagging you, you walk faster. If she keeps nagging you, you run. If she won't stop doing it, then you get a divorce. You need to figure out, what do I need to do differently here? And I'm going to help you do that because I don't think you're an evil guy. I just don't think somebody taught you the coping skills along the way to do things. I'm not saying she's a perfect wife. She might be like fingernails on a chalkboard. I get that, But that doesn't justify putting your hands on her in anger or putting your hands on her in anger, and denying it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. I do not believe that you did not get physical with Ashley. I know that you did. I know that you get physical with her. And the police are going to know that you did. You're getting ready to go to jail. Ashley, I'm going to excuse you because this is between the couple.
Okay.
I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your contribution to this.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Closed captioning provided by. I know that you get physical with her, and the police are going to know that you did. You're getting ready to go to jail. Now, I believe I can stop that from happening. So I'm going to try to help you instead. I have a plan.
Yes, sir.
I want to add someone to this conversation right now, and that's TJ Howard. TJ is the corporate director of Origins Behavioral Healthcare. Please meet Josh.
TJ, pleasure to meet you.
And please meet Sky.
Hello.
Origins Healthcare, I believe that their dual diagnosis treatment centers are the leaders in the nation. Here's what I think is going on. When we say dual diagnosis, these folks deal with addiction and they deal with psychological issues at the same time. You did meth on Monday. You have a drug problem. You have a gambling addiction problem. I think you have a tendency to try to escape reality by going into fantasy, because I think reality is very painful for you. And I don't think that you have had proper help with that. Now, they're getting ready to throw you in jail, and that's not going to help this situation at all. TJ, what do you have to say?
Independently of one another, drugs, gambling, anger, depression, those are all highly dangerous, and we're willing to help you.
Let me tell you what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to not think about divorce until this has a chance to happen. Because that nice Josh that you like, that nice Josh that charms you, I think there's a real good chance he can show up every day if he really gets the help that he needs. And while that's happening, there's going to be some things happening with you too, because you have a bit of a self-destructive bent yourself. Can you make that commitment?
Yes.
I'm offering this to you. Are you going to take this and do it?
Yes, sir, I am.
We're extending this to you because we think you deserve it.
Thank you.
They'll be in touch with the court, and we'll explain to them that you're in treatment center. Fair enough? Fair enough?
I'm ready.
I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to TJ Howard and Origins Behavioral Healthcare for offering to help Josh. If you or someone you know are experiencing domestic violence, needs resources, or are questioning unhealthy aspects in your relationship, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or go to, quote, thehotline.org. Highly trained advocates are available 24/7. And remember, all calls are confidential. You can also go to my wife Robin's foundation website, When Georgia Smiled, at whengeorgiasmiled.org. There you will find a program called the Aspire Initiative. It will help you to understand a number of things, such as what does constitute the different kinds of abuse, and very importantly, we'll talk to you about a healthy and safe exit plan, because the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship is when you are transitioning away from your abuser. It's important, number one, to be safe. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.